from landlord to homeless. And this is happening more and more, sadly, in the United States. Now, this is one of the more recent articles that I found. This landlord was unable to evict her tenant, therefore, no rental income. So now she, the landlord, is homeless. Absolutely insane. Let's talk about it. Hey, everybody, it's JJ. You're watching Bolt, Boom, Bear, Bust. It's Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. Well, looking back a year ago now when this whole S show started, we told you that they're going to have to extend and pretend continuously now because the economy is in absolute shambles and it's not coming back. Yes, the manipulated numbers, they look better. They're dropping in some areas, and the GDP, it's going up because of all the stimulus checks and the spending and the American people that love to shop, of course. But behind the scenes, you and I, people that have been on this channel, watching this whole thing unfold, no, this is not an economic recovery. What does that mean? That means permanent moratoriums and permanent eviction bans, right? There's nothing that's going to dig us out of this hole if they're just doing the same things. Now, they can pass a huge stimulus bill, an infrastructure bill. They're talking about a $3 trillion stimulus bill right now. Yes, that will bring some jobs back. But everything is going to continue to erode because what's going to happen, they're going to have to take more of your and mine, our paycheck, and in general, the working class is going to pay for more and more of this spending. And eventually, this is going to lead to absolute devastation if we're not already there. We are already there for millions of people. And one example would be the landlord right here. Landlord homeless, unable to evict deadbeat tenant thanks to the law. From the article, Shauna Eccles says in court papers that she sleeps on couches of friends and relatives whenever she can, and in her four-door Toyota when she can't, after fighting and failing for months to evict a deadbeat tenant from her two-family home. Quote, she says, quote, "There's only one I can stay with until I'm able to evict, and all of my money covers the mortgage, water bill, and property taxes," unquote. Right, we are seeing more and more stories like this from landlord to homeless. Now, she is a landlord right now because she's keeping up the payments on her property that she owns that's being lived in by a deadbeat tenant. But how long can that last? How long will she continue to have the income if she's homeless to keep paying for the upkeep of the property, the utilities, the taxes? And it says that she still has a mortgage on it. So this could be another home that normally would be in foreclosure ultimately. But now, thanks to the foreclosure moratorium, that she might get a pass on that as well. So it's going to be this never-ending cycle of deadbeat tenants, can't evict them, can't foreclose, right? You see what I'm saying? So this is never ending unless a miracle happens. What is going to change the direction that this whole thing is headed? This is an absolute nightmare for so many people. And as we continue, more and more people are going to feel the effects and get engulfed in this economic nightmare that we're facing right now. Right now, to me, the sad part is there's good landlords and there's not so good landlords. A lot of the corporate landlords, we've showed articles here over the years, the institutional owned housing tracts and buildings, a lot of times, or more frequently from my research, more frequently, those are the slumlords, right? The mega corporations that went out and bought, millions of homes after the housing bust, 10 or 12 years ago now. Those are the articles that I see most often where tenants cannot get repairs done, leaking faucets that don't get fixed. It's the middle class or the mom and pop landlord, the small investor, the small homeowner who rents their home out to go and buy a different home. These are the people that are going to get hurt the most out of this. Kind of like when we see small businesses compared to mega corporations, small businesses got hurt much worse than the mega corporations. Why? Because the mega corporations, they could handle all the adjustments and all the new rules and criteria for keeping their doors open for business. All right, and this is just another microcosm of the large wealth transfer that we see from the poor and the middle class up to the top, the tippy top of the pyramid. More news right here on evictions. More than 2,200 organizations call on the president to extend eviction ban. So if we are in this recovery, why do we have over 2,000 organizations calling to extend the eviction ban? Right? People know that we're at the end of the road here. It's extend and pretend forever now. Continuous stimulus checks, continuous moratoriums, eviction bans. And I think right now the only thing stopping a massive avalanche of bankruptcies is the stimulus checks, right? Who would have guessed a year ago when this whole thing started that we're going to be sending out a third stimulus check? Of course, that's already happening. Now they're talking about a fourth. And down the road, we're talking about universal basic income. In my opinion, that's where we're headed. Unless we see a miracle or a drastic change, all we're seeing is more of the same. All right, so how does this end? Is everything going to be fine if we just, no one has to pay rent, no one has to pay their mortgage? Keep sending out stimulus checks to stimulate the economy, hence the name stimulus check. More spending, such as the $3 trillion stimulus package, so that will create jobs because you're going to have more construction, more infrastructure projects, more people can just work on these projects that are funded by what money created out of thin air. And we shouldn't really call it money because essentially it's just electronic digits transferred from one place to the other. And they can use that to maneuver this economic illusion into something that maybe looks like a recovery. San Francisco Chronicle EDD website down as jobless Californians try to file claims. Well, I thought we were in an economic recovery. Why would there be so many people trying to file unemployment claims? These websites are going down. They're crashing because so many people are trying to file at one time. But I guess that's maybe not true. I guess we're in an economic recovery, so maybe this is not really happening. Maybe the website didn't crash. When it comes to evictions, there's always exceptions, and you'll see cases where people skirt the rules or find loopholes to still evict people. Just like a couple episodes ago, we talked about an entire trailer park that got evicted. Emily Benford tweeted this out. A woman recovering from open heart surgery was put on the street today with nowhere to go. The sheriff, who was silent about the moratorium, said, "Well, you didn't pay your rent." The neighbor couldn't stop crying. Those with the greatest risk are suffering the greatest harm. Right? Could you imagine open heart surgery? You're recovering and now you are homeless. You better have a relative to stay with. You better have some sort of plan B. I could imagine this person recovering from this type of surgery going to a homeless shelter, but it's possible that may be the only place that some people have to go, including the sick and the recovering and the people that depend on other people to help them. And they're certainly not going to get it in the place that a lot of these people are going to end up, maybe in a tent somewhere. This is a really sad time. It's going to continue to get worse, everybody. Hope you're doing well at this time, but stay well, stay prepared, and try to do the best you can to navigate these waters because I don't see much of a recovery at all happening. All right, a $3 trillion stimulus bill. We're going to report on that here with an infrastructure project. Will it rescue this? Will it save us? Probably not. It's going to help some people for some time, but in the end, this ship's going down, and we just need to try to find lifeboats as best we can. Everybody, okay, thanks for watching this report. I'm going to wrap this one up here. Stay well, everybody. Bye now.